I'll make part 2 of the transmission line video. I was making light of this clip. That there, and don't buy from AutoZone or Advance these Chinese fittings, because that's what's going to happen to you. It's lucky there was enough of this that I could get on it with a channel locks while it was in the transmission body. You guys might not be so lucky. So that's why I make these videos. They're for a point. I know I badmouth Advanced and AutoZone Chinatown. I do like AutoZone's starters, their alternators. They've come a long way there, but the rest of the stuff has another long way to go. Then other than this cheap stuff, if you order the spring, and I don't have the part number, but you can get it from General Motors, get this different clip, okay? Because these quick connects, this clip creates way too much resistance, okay, for you guys to deal with and try to push that line in. And don't forget to lubricate the end of these lines, okay? The disconnect, they go on like this, and as you can see, even without the clip on, you got to push, 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 and it doesn't want to fit right. Okay, that's because they're making this shit in China. And I'm sorry for the cussing, that's just part of my ornery nature. Ornery old Marine, roof Nazi, they call me, different things. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate. This is a tool. Okay, I cut all the lines off, I get all the bullshit out of my way. And this is one way to not foil yourself, is to mark things. Put a piece of tape, bottom line, okay? This is your bottom line. And it has this longer neck to it, okay? That goes to your cooler, the trucks that have a cooler. Some of them, they just go right to the radiator on the two-wheel drive, some of the ones without the towing packages and stuff on them. So you really need to mark what is what. Sometimes by the shape of the hose, it actually almost falls right in place for you. Believe it or not, it seems mentally a lot harder than it is, especially even routing them through the frame. You kind of get a feel for it if you're mechanically inclined. If you're a boob, stay away from it. It could vex you. But even a guy like me, my truck was down 3 days because of this Mickey Mouse stuff. Not to mention, even the dealer only carried one of these and one clip, which is useless. I don't know how the hell they even service vehicles. Fairway Chevy, I wouldn't take I wouldn't take my kid's big wheel to you, really. People, you need to wake up. Here's another tool. This will cut the lines. Even a whizzer. I use the whizzer up where the trans body was. It's easier to turn these fittings out once you cut the lines off close enough, even if you have a good sharp dikes. It's a 15mm socket, and this stubby little extension, I wanted to make light of it. This is quintessential in getting those out, because you can just get on them with the socket and turn them right out. Some of them are 3/4 and 17mm. There's different sizes on different trucks, okay? 17mm or 19mm on the coolers, depends on what fittings you have. So take your VIN number to the dealer, because then normally you get the right stuff, but not always, because I went through a hell of a thing with Fairway. And finally, I got the right fittings at another Delco dealer, Rentschler Chevy down in Slatington. Actually hooked me up with the right parts. I just drove down there yesterday, broke down, went down and got the right stuff. Because Fairway had me so angry, I was afraid I was going to throw the stuff at them, that, you know, I have to go miles out of my way. I can't get anything professional. I think I've told you that in this area. The Hazleton, McAdoo, you get a little west of here too. You got to go to Allentown or Scranton. You got to go to the major cities to get anything decent, because these hillbillies out here, they carry very little inventory. The inventory they do carry is for them and for their shops, and they're not going to sell it to you even though they have it. So that's just a warning. And this will help. You use minimal. You need like a 10mm socket to get the grill out and stuff. There's really not many nuts and bolts. And then this quick set. This is a cheap set. I have a Cobalt set. The cheaper ones, this was smaller, and it really worked nice getting those retainers. Because if you have to pull the retainer back out or the line doesn't seat right, you can get that retainer back out. Normally, the status quo is, these were called a quick disconnect because you just screw them in and you'd slide that line right in. But GM's doing so, they don't put any lube on anything for you, that it slides together. It would pay you to get this down to metal with emery cloth and lube it up with like a Cam or a Molly lube, Don't use your fingers because there's a lot of mercury in that, believe it or not. And that would be the proper way to do these things. So, you guys, I know you people didn't hear from me for a while. I had some personal issues to take care of, the death of a relative. A lot of stuff got in my way of getting things done for people. Herman Munster's almost done. We just got to mud it up next year. I got a few pieces to put in here and there and put them back down on the body. It's money. A lot of people, it's a trickle. They don't save up. Oh, I didn't expect that. Hey, what the hell do you think? We're putting stuff back together, and it costs money. Just like this simple little job, which should have cost about $200 to do, including the transmission fluid, to do the job. It should have cost about $200. It cost me almost $600–700 between the truck breaking down and the line. What happened to me, why I'm angry, is the line end, this is the transmission, and it walked right out of it. It blew right out of the transmission because, like I said, you couldn't, in other words, it felt like it was in. You couldn't move it in, you couldn't move the line out. You didn't know if it was tight or not. I got those other clips from General Motors, as I'm telling you about. These, they're a lot thinner, okay, and the line will slide right in. There's hardly any resistance. So this is the how could I say, this is your nemesis. It's a curse. So if you get the GM fittings, also get a set of those thinner clips that they sell. And like I said, by rights, I should get you a part number, but if you watch the video, I'll give you the part number. I have it. But there is a thinner clip. GM makes them, and they're in a package, and you just makes the job that the line, you can actually hear it clip and click in, and there's no problems. Because these, you should technically be able to put them right back into fittings and slide the line together with this in, instead of like we had to do in the beginning. We were trying to take the line, force the line in, and then force the clip around the line. That's not what a quick connect is supposed to do. So don't forget my tips, okay? Because I make these videos for a purpose, because a lot of you guys are going to cover this ground. The stuff's not going to fit together right. Some emery paper, because here's a piece of it that we used, okay, to clean the ends of those lines up and stuff, and put Molly Lube on them. And as I said, even that didn't work until I got those thinner clips. So one towing bill later, one lesson learned. That's what YouTube is all about. It's a sharing of knowledge. I appreciate YouTube for a lot of that. I don't like suppression of freedom of speech, and I also don't like snake oil salesmen, even though I just tried to sell you my that was a gag, by the way. Anyway, some people might take me serious on that. I have a hell of a sense of humor, but sometimes only I appreciate the sense of humor, and I think people have noticed that about me. It's part of my personality defect. It's funny to me, maybe not to you, but don't buy snake oil. Don't listen to Republicans. Don't listen to Democrats. Listen to the independents, because Adam Schiff, he's going to be my new salesman for this. Him and Pelosi. You got to see what's in it. So have a nice afternoon or evening whenever you were watching this, because I know somebody's going to run across this GM transmission line debacle. Is how I'm going to post it, part 1 and part 2. So thank you guys, okay? Thanks for watching my videos. Brent, your parts are on the way. I've been busy, by the way. Deer season is here. And I don't hunt much anymore. I don't do much of anything anymore outside of work in the shop and do things, because I got firewood to bring in today. I've got laundry to do. I've got house cleaning to do. I've got cookies to make for the holiday. Being single, everything falls on me. So I let my friends, there's a select band of friends that go up there, and my kids, they hunt now. Their husbands hunt. Actually, my 2 girls, their husbands hunt. So I was busy with getting their RVs set up, getting hoses, water out of the well. We have a way that we do it that the water lines don't freeze, and then we put insulation around the bottoms of their trailers, because they'll be there till spring. They're going to hunt muzzleloader. They do the whole 9 yards hunting season. They come here for turkey, which was a week ago, or this past week, I shouldn't say. It was this week what screwed me up and having the truck down. They were carting my ass around, and I was hauling tools up there with their vehicles till I got her back. So guys, it's a lesson learned, and it's money in the bank when you listen to the professionals. Guys like me are pros. Listen to what we have to say. It's not snake oil. Thanks.